Nearly 100,000 of those men and women fighting for our country will not have a place to call home when they return.
Some argue the system is not doing enough to help. News 9's John Jordan spoke to a homeless veteran and has more. John?
Well, Amanda, the unfortunate reality is every single night there are homeless veterans who turn to the City Rescue Mission in hopes of a warm meal. In fact, one veteran telling us if it wasn't for the City Rescue Mission, he would have no place to turn to.
It's how many of us picture Veterans Day. Parades honoring and celebrating our men and women in uniform. However, for homeless veteran, retired Sergeant Paul Clayton, who spends his days working and living at the City Rescue Mission, there's little to celebrate.
This here was the last place I ever thought I'd wind up at.
But before arriving at the City Rescue Mission, this is where Clayton called home, the streets of Oklahoma City. He says he wound up here after his service in Desert Storm. He says when he got back from his military service, he found few places willing to help and few places to turn to.
You think that they would just really be back with open arms, but it wasn't like that. So it wasn't like that.
It's why Clayton has a hard time believing the president who said this.
So I want all of you to know, when you come home, your country is going to be there for you.
And then they end up homeless when they get back here. It's heartbreaking.
Tiffany Webb is the City Rescue Mission's Director of Development. She stops short of blaming the system for not doing more, but admits a lot of times she finds it doesn't help.
Because of all of those processes and jumping through hoops to get those things done, I think that it's easier just to give up.
Fortunately, Clayton says there are places like the City Rescue Mission willing to help.
This place here, it's basically saved my life. You know, it's done more for me than anything or anybody's ever have.
Now, in an effort to eliminate the veterans' homelessness problem and help those like retired Sergeant Clayton, the director of the Veterans Affairs Department did announce today that his department has received a budget increase of 19% over the last year and expects another increase of 10% next year. He says a lot of that money that they'll use will hopefully go to programs that will assist veterans who are homeless. Amanda?
Hopefully so, John. Thank you. It is also worth noting, while shelters in other states report an increase in the number of homeless veterans, the number in Oklahoma has decreased.